Is the market really oversaturated? I don't know. I used to work as a Hollywood assistant. More on that later. Twitter, X, Threads, Blue Sky, got now. Don't play with us. Hey, I'm Jazz, and I do it all. Hey, it's Jazz. If you're new here, then what up? And if you're not, then welcome back. If you don't know, I am a believer in Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ!
I'm a professional athlete turned filmmaker and writer. And on this channel, I would love to discuss and create all things faith, film, fitness, and all that jazz. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So if you are watching this video, then you are probably somebody who has plenty of areas of interest and you are sick and tired of people telling you to niche down. Well, I'm here to tell you,
Niche down.
no, I'm just kidding. You don't have to. And I'm going to tell you why. So it wasn't until college when I realized that I had so many passions and so many interests. I had a former basketball teammate come up to me one time and tell me, girl, I have never met anyone who was so good at so many different things. Jasmine, you are a Renaissance woman. And I was like, me. A whole me.
A whole me.
No, but for real, I never actually thought of it that way because the things that I did were all things that I was super passionate about and things that I had been doing since I was a kid. So it never really occurred to me that perfecting that many passions was what, people considered as being a Renaissance woman or a Renaissance man. It was just second nature to me. And then coming from a Nigerian family, a very high achieving Nigerian family at that, literally me and all of my siblings have played sports on the professional level, including my parents. Isn't that crazy? Don't play with us. Anyway, but coming from a family like that, especially being the youngest, I was the baby of the family. So you're kind of just expected to fall in line. And that's what I did. Outside of that, I absolutely love to learn. I love to become the master at something. There's just something so satisfying about the process of being completely new to something and then working at it and growing and learning and studying and then conquering that thing, becoming a master at it essentially. As of today, I currently play basketball. I did that at the Division 1 level, and then I went on to play professionally overseas, do fitness training and weightlifting. I dance, which I've also done at the professional level. I'm a screenwriter and a director. I enjoy doing things like panel moderation and public speaking, and most recently became a novelist, amongst plenty other things. I was the girl who was on the cheer team, the dance team, and the basketball team. So whatever you think that means, the answer is yes. For example, I would play in a basketball game, right? At halftime, go and switch and change clothes into my dance uniform. Then I would run back out, perform the dance routine at the halftime show. Then I would go back, change back into my basketball uniform, finish playing out the game. And then when all my teammates went home, then I would change into my cheer uniform, run across the street, and go cheer for the football team. When I say high achieving, that's what I mean. But even though I did love it, I'm sure you can imagine how overwhelming that kind of got, especially when I decided to take content creation a little more seriously. I was like, you know what? I'm going to create content. And I was like, of what? Literally a couple weeks ago, I had a whole breakdown on my social media close friends because girl was crashing out. I was crashing out.
I don't know where to put any of my content. I think that's the issue. I don't know where to house any of my content because I don't want to just make fitness content. I want to make fitness content. I want to make just talking head videos, motivational things. I want to talk about my journey in the film industry as a writer, etc. But where do I put all this stuff? I don't know anymore because I feel like Instagram is not what Instagram used to be. I don't know.
So anyway, if you're anything like me and you are also trying to start or continue your content creation journey, but maybe you have multiple passions and interests and you don't know where to start, here are 3 things that helped take me from thinking about it to actually doing it. Number 1, you might actually already have a niche. I would try writing down all of my passions, my areas of interest, and just see where some of them may overlap, because chances are they already do. For example, you might be super passionate about filmmaking, and then you also might be super passionate about painting or knitting, right? And these, I think, inherently seem like three different niches, when in actuality, all of those things are different forms of art. I think it's important that we maybe loosen the reins around what is considered a niche, because sometimes we overcomplicate things and it's really not that deep. Another idea for this could be housing all of your content under the lifestyle umbrella. I think this is a great idea because I think it allows you to fit all of the things that you deal with in your daily life. You can kind of house them all under the same umbrella because technically it's your lifestyle, so it's considered lifestyle content, and you can do that without it feeling like it's all over the place. So say you want to create content around fitness, but also you want to create content about working in the tech industry. Maybe the solution would be creating a video that's like, follow my journey as a young 20-something living in New York, working in tech. Video can capture you going to the gym. It can capture you, going to work and talking about the different things you work with in the tech industry. It can, follow you as you go on a first date. It can follow you as you, meet up with friends to go to the movies. All of that stuff is still considered lifestyle. Boom. You see how easy that was? Now go make the video, and I better get 5% of that revenue. I'm not playing with you. Then the next step would be just trying to decide what type of content you want to create. Are you a short form video girly or guy? I don't know who's watching this. I don't know. Do you like talking head videos, kind of like this one? Are you a vlog style person? Are you like no face, no case? One of those ones where you do voiceovers or even use AI voices or something like that. Music in the background. Whatever the case, write it down. I'm sure when you get it on paper, you're able to visualize it, you can brainstorm a lot easier. Ultimately, just do what is most comfortable for you. It doesn't matter like what you talk about, the content's not going to be good if you're not comfortable. You know what I mean? Okay, number 2. Reframing your mindset around oversaturation. Is the market really oversaturated? I don't know. Here's my thought about it. Literally just had this epiphany like last week where I was thinking to myself, I don't know if I want to make fitness content because I feel like there's so many fitness influencers and blah, blah, blah. I don't know if I can add any, value to these spaces of these, talking head videos or podcasts, or I was talking myself out of making content. Then I had the epiphany. Let me tell you 2 things. 1, I used to work as a Hollywood assistant. More on that later. But when I was an assistant, one of the people that I used to work for was a pop star. And she was very particular about everything, including the type of water that she would drink. I had to go to the store and get this very specific, like spring mountain water type of thing. And I remember going to the water aisle and there's like 30 different brands of water. Now, water is water is water is water, okay? But she wanted a very specific brand. People are hella loyal to their brands, okay? Of food, of clothes, and etc. There's so many brands of bread, so many brands of ice cream. Ben & Jerry's did not make cookies and cream flavor because Bluebell already had it. You know what I mean? They just made their own version, and the people who love Ben & Jerry's will gravitate towards Ben & Jerry's. And sometimes people like both, or whatever's available. There's nothing new under the sun, so don't be intimidated when you see that someone else has already done the type of videos or content that you want to create. Don't be intimidated by them. Be motivated by them. Add your own brand of water to that shelf. Somebody will buy it. And the second part is, it had me wondering, like, is the market really oversaturated, or is your algorithm just doing its job? Maybe I'm just seeing so many fitness influencers and so many lifestyle influencers or so many filmmaking influencers because that's the kind of content that I watch, and so that's the kind of content that my algorithm is pushing to me. Do you understand? Does that make sense? So if I'm constantly being bombarded with these types of videos, then it just means my algorithm is doing its job, and it's just showing me the types of things that I like. So it seems like, oh my gosh, everywhere I look, there's a fitness influencer here, and there's a lifestyle influencer there, and there's a motivational this and a this and a this. And it's really like, because the AI technology knows what you like, and it's just doing what it was made to do. Somebody down the street from you could have a completely different algorithm. Maybe their algorithm looks like video gaming or streamers or makeup tutorials, and you won't necessarily think like, oh my gosh, the market is oversaturated with video game streamers, because you don't see that every day, so it's not on the top of your brain. So if you like remove yourself from it and kind of pull yourself out and look at it in the grand scheme of things, Maybe it's not oversaturated. Maybe it's just a lot of people, sure, but it doesn't mean that every single person who creates content is doing the exact kind of content that you want to do, and therefore you should not add your voice. Because I don't think that's the reality of it. The internet is so vast and there's so many different ways to create and to add your voice, and I think that you shouldn't shy away from that. I think you should do it. And then number 3, you don't have to be everything everywhere all at once. What I mean by this is that you don't have to be like visible on every single platform all the time, everywhere, all at the same time. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, Threads, Blue Sky, got now. God damn! What's I don't even know what these things are called anymore. There's so many things. The YouTuber Erin on Demand has great content about this kind of stuff. And she has a video in particular that speaks specifically to what I'm saying. Once I came to this conclusion, it kind of helped me to calm my nerves. And then I saw her video after the fact. And I was like, oh my gosh, this just kind of like confirms and affirms everything that I was thinking. And I really think that it was God just like kind of sprinkle. Like, girl, you are getting way ahead of yourself. Nobody said that you had to be the queen of Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Blue Sky,
Juice, rubber, goose, green, rose, guava juice.
Threads, Twitter, X, all the stuff. Like, relax. I think Instagram stresses me out the most because I don't necessarily have a desire to work really hard to, blow up on Instagram. It feels very influencer-esque. It feels very like polished and like, oh my gosh, does this mean I have to post every day on Instagram and have to use this hashtag and have to post at this time and blah, 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 blah. I just wanted like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to chill out. I just want to chill. I'm just a girl. I think what helped me too was to be like, okay, I can create content for YouTube, and then what I can do is just repurpose that content for the other platforms. You don't have to constantly be pumping out and churning out content on every single platform all the time. And I think it's helped, especially now, because the platforms have evolved a lot, where a lot of the functions that are used on singular platforms are kind of used across platforms. So for example, Snapchat used to be the only place that had like stories, right? But now Instagram has stories, Facebook has stories, TikTok even has stories, YouTube has shorts. Just focus on one thing, whatever makes the most sense for you and your content, whatever makes the most sense for you as far as comfort level goes too, because if you don't want to be making long form videos, you don't have to. Like, you can make quick short edits and post them on TikTok. Simple as that. But ultimately, I hope that this video serves kind of 2 purposes. One, it helps other Renaissance folks, other people who have multiple passions and multiple areas of interest, to just kind of feel confident in themselves and know that, hey, maybe I don't have to niche down. And 2, I hope it serves as maybe another way to reintroduce myself more than the girl who couldn't walk for 6 months. It just kind of recently occurred to me that I was like, oh, I think I low-key just came on YouTube and was like, hey guys, I ruptured my Achilles. Okay, but who are you? But if you do want to go back and check that out, please feel free. I have a 7-video playlist that captures my journey from recovering from an Achilles tendon rupture all the way from week 0 up until 1 year post-op. But aside from that, there's so much more to me, just like I'm sure there's so much more to you. I am a little nervous about going on this, content creation journey, but I do feel like God is really moving me in this direction. And I told him that I would be obedient for at least a year. Let me just be consistent for a year and see, where it takes me. Thank you so much for tuning in. But before I go, I want this video to serve as my reintroduction into the YouTube world. So, hey, I'm Jazz, and I do it all.